What's going on, motivators? We've got another video. First off, I want to give a big shout out to everyone so far who has subscribed. We've hit 100 subscribers, and in itself, it's awesome from where we just started. Again, I wouldn't be where I'm at so far without your help. Again, if you do like what you hear and see, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also share a Black veteran's perspective. Let's get into this. Today, I want to talk about why Democrats, they only hate Trump, not his policies.
Are Democrats trying to goad President Trump into restarting the war with Iran? Folks seem very fond of a certain taunt implying that the president chickened out.
The Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays as our president.
Trump has backed off, and there will be some who will call it, taco. Right? Trump always chickens out, which is making way too light of it, but it is also a truth.
Donald Trump just caved.
President Trump's critics have coined the acronym TACO for Trump always chickens out.
The fact that he can say with...
I mean, I never got it. It didn't really make sense to me. I guess it's something that makes sense to Democrats. Trump always chicken out. The whole comparison to taco with the Hispanic community, Spanish community. Yeah, Democrat always find a way to undermine something, but they're going to use, in a sense, the cultural appropriation to call Trump a taco. But you remember when he had the taco bowl, they made a big deal out of it.
The straight face that we're winning this war is pretty absurd.
And the media is also serving up one of their most head-scratching.
Doesn't it seem like the people on the left, they're rooting more for our adversaries than the United States? That's the way I see it, at least. Let me know what you think.
Comments yet on the conflict. MS Now anchor Lawrence O'Donnell taking issue with Pete Hegseth's "Leave No Man Behind" motto to describe the daring airman rescue.
We leave no man behind.
That is, of course, the old school version of the idea back when only men flew American military planes.
There is no old school version. It's just a terminology. No difference from humankind, right? Or mankind. Mankind or humankind, we're not just talking about females or men. We're talking about everybody individually. It's a terminology that was used. Leave no man behind does not mean that we're talking about just men. We're talking about whomever who's there with us. No one is staying behind. I mean, I definitely know I could exemplify that from being in the military. We serve with both females and males, and that is a terminology that we use on a consistent basis. Never that have I thought when we said, don't leave any man behind or no man left behind, would insinuate that it only meant men and not female. They build their entire business on pure division. They always find the littlest of things and they amplify it. Who would ever think to say we leave no man behind? In such a great rescue, they have to find something negative. It was just simply put in, we don't leave anyone behind. Whether deceased or alive, everyone is to come back to the United States. That is one of the military ethos that we have.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff put it this way.
We leave no one behind.
The general knows, unlike Pete Hegseth, that could have been a woman they were trying to rescue, and it might be a woman the next time.
Here's the thing. If he's the Secretary of War, he knows everything pertaining to that person, the individual. Whether it was a female, male, so on and so forth. Knows the blood type, knows the height, knows the social. He's the Secretary of War. All information from that plane being flown, that airman, was known by the Secretary of War, especially in the Situation Room.
Greg, you want to hit that last ball out of the park?
Finally, someone says what everyone's been thinking. But you know what? He didn't go far enough.
That's right.
What if you
Trans? Do it. I don't.
Trans.
Exactly.
What if the
I think that's a very funny take. That's a very funny take. Leave no trans behind. Why is it that Democrats are always into identity politics? Whether you're black, brown, whether you're male, you're female, transgender, furry, whatever it may be. But during that comment that Lawrence O'Donnell just made pertaining to Pete Hegseth stating that we leave no man behind, he only thought about women. Democrats always think about everything. They're inclusive. They're progressive. Why wouldn't he make a great statement about leaving no trans behind too? I thought that was the centerpiece of the Democrats' party, transgenderism.
Leave no trans behind. You don't know. Don't make some assumptions that the pilot is one of two biological sexes. Do we even know what you're talking about? I would hate to be them. Because you're constantly trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and then you just finally fail and decide that the hole is racist. And then you...
That's the thing too, the whole racist thing. It has gone overboard. The racist terminology, it doesn't even have a meaning anymore. They use racist on a consistent basis. Right now, it has gone flat. Everything is racist. We all know this. We're all human beings. We all have some kind of education. If everything is racist, so therefore nothing is. Some of the things that Democrats say makes me wonder, do they really believe that, or is just purposefully done to cause division?
Every day to explain to them what's going on. And we know it wastes people's time to have to go through and go like, these are patterns that you've seen before. And, they have nuclear weapons. It's just like, But if they don't have strategic ignorance, those people are out of jobs. My thing is, I would like to see the Jimmy Kimmel that calls Trump a psychotic debate Jimmy Kimmel who calls him a chicken.
Now, Greg just made a very valid point. I really believe the whole racist thing, it's a business. It has to be a business. Those news agencies and those big groups, they live off of division. What better way to divide the country if not racism? We do know that there are more white people than black people, but combine black people with brown people, and there's a certain sector of white people who advocate for anything because they want to feel like they're the saviors. Now you have a bigger group or comparison group, right, with the right in how they view things.
Because we don't need to get involved in that debate.
Yeah.
They're just debating each other.
That's what I was going to say, Jesse. Like some of these people in the morning when they were on television, they were saying President Trump is a war criminal. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the day, they were saying he was a chicken.
That's the thing. They don't hate Trump's policy. They hate him. Whatever he does, they do the opposite. They want him to end the war. He ends it. Now he's a chicken.
Free 4 weeks. We spent hundreds of billions of dollars. Our munitions stockpiles depleted. There are 13 service members who have died. There are thousands of Iranians who have died. A elementary school was bombed in Iran. Infrastructure, critical energy infrastructure in a number of states was damaged or completely ruined. That has to now be reconstituted. And then, as David mentions, all the other stuff. Reopening the strait, it's not going to happen. Now we have to apparently have a surcharge on ships. So
our stockpiles being depleted for the military weaponry. Are you kidding me? Joe Biden and Obama actually depleted the military stockpile by taking funds from it.
I go about the stuff, and I know people like to pile on Trump in these moments and say, well, he tacoed, and he was always going to taco. And I just think that's just the wrong framework because it's not about chickening out. This brinksmanship, and I guess I should ask David about this brinksmanship has real, tangible costs, real costs, substantial costs, not just over the past 4 weeks, but going forward. I mean, how do any Gulf state allies, how do they rearrange their geopolitical thinking around this? How are the Europeans ever going to trust us again when we said to them, you have to go reopen the strait? I mean, what?
European so-called NATO allies, when they needed us for Ukraine, we were there. And the simple stuff as far as helping open the straits, they chickened out. So the idea of trusting us, we know that we shouldn't trust them now. I think it's the inverse. Who cares about them not trusting us? We shouldn't trust them because when they called for us, we were there. And we called for them, they never showed up. So the trust is lost, especially Britain. We all know that Britain had the tight fix with the United States because the United States pretty much came from Britain, right? But now Britain had this long standing and they have removed themselves from it because of this new populist movement. At the end of the day, Democrats will find any way to poo-poo on the thing that Donald Trump does. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. The idea is that they were just going to go against Trump. We remember 4 years ago, Joe Biden was calling for Iran to stop. Famous word, don't, because he knew that Iran was wrong for the global economy in what they were doing out there with the different policies. But Trump did something about it. I believe at times that the Democrat would rather our adversaries be better than we are. It's almost you could hear it in their voice that they're rooting for their adversary versus United States. It's a very strange thing that I've recognized and I've noticed lately, all because of going against Trump. All right, motivators, if you like what you see and heard, please like, comment, subscribe, and share a Black veteran's perspective. Stay motivated.